Sometimes in life you need to tackle your problems head on. When something stands in your way, you just have to deal with it. Cut the problem down to size. When the Forestry Commission was given funding to put right the wrong of planting on important bogland, it got the wheels turning immediately, working closely with interested partners, Natural England, Northumberland Wildlife Trust, Northumberland National Park Authority, Newcastle University and RAF Spade Adam. It was given 5 years to remove hundreds of thousands of mature trees that were strangling the life out of the unique Border Mires, which is a necklace of glinting gems stretching across the English-Scottish border. The Forestry Commission pulled out all the stops, and now the job's done. 2 full years ahead of schedule.
You have to be very impressed by what's gone on here. It's been a very real challenge to get all these trees, about 1,000 hectares of trees off the Mires in such a short timescale.
The Mires began forming 12,000 years ago, after the last ice age, and have helped shape the identity of Britain. For centuries, the lawless border reivers used to weave through them with their booty, using them as an impenetrable defence against capture. But after developing freely for millennia, trees were planted on them by the Forestry Commission, which had been set up after Britain's First World War effort nearly ground to a halt for lack of wood. No wood would have meant no pit props, for instance, and with no pit props there's no coal, and with no coal there's no power to drive the war machine and propel the ships. We planted everywhere and anywhere, 150 million trees alone at Kielder Forest in Northumberland. In the 21st century, with perfect hindsight, it was clear that that wasn't a good idea at all. Drainage ditches had been dug to dry out the land for tree growth, and the trees were also sucking up the moisture in the 9-metre deep bogs, lowering the water table further. Peat can only form in boggy ground, and so the processes of thousands of years were grinding to a halt, literally turning to dust.
What we've done now, we've done all the major works on the bogs. The bogs will still need a few years to come back, but the bogs will be there as mires for the rest of time. It's been a magnificent effort by the foresters. I mean, in Kielder at the moment we produce 25% of all the timber produced in England, and it's been a great story about having trees, but having trees in the right place.
This bog is like a giant rice pudding. Its whole surface is knitted together with plants, but anything heavy is likely to sink in. Local contractors and volunteers were tasked to carry out much of the restoration work. These wild and wonderful places have so much to offer us. Britain has 13% of the world's resource in blanket bogs, which makes these Border Mires internationally important and vital to conserve.
Okay, well, there's a whole plant community here of specialist plants, things like sundews, which are a carnivorous plant, cross-leaved heath, which particularly likes a wet environment, bog asphodel, a lovely yellow plant which flowers later in the year, bog cranberry, very small plant but has cranberry which are edible, bog rosemary, which actually looks like the rosemary leaves.
What about plants? What kind of plants can we see?
Cotton grass and...
Where's the cotton grass?
It's that white stuff over there.
In 3 short years, the Forestry Commission has managed to restore the natural, eternal balance at Belcrag Flow and the other Border Mires. In restoring and protecting these rare jewels of the high country, the Forestry Commission has attained its goal of using forest resources not only for timber production, but with sustainability, learning and leisure in mind. 2 years ahead of schedule, the Border Mires have been saved.